So let's go. Young Mr. Schneider, is there a tree that we can tap? Yeah? All right. So, just before we go back, I'll show you a couple of things. Can you open that up for me?
Then does the tree have to be a certain age or a certain width?
10 inches in diameter is sort of ideal. For what we're doing, I don't think it will matter very much. If it's a little smaller, I don't think you're going to hurt the tree. Yeah. You know, a tiny one won't do much. Yeah, yeah. You know, what it would do is slow down the growth just a little bit. But they say sort of dinner plate size is what you're looking for. So James has got a tap for us. That's what it looks like. You'll see there's a little washer on it. What you're going to need to do is find some kind of a container like this. Not a milk container. It makes the sap taste like sour milk no matter how much you wash it. And you just cut a little hole in there so that you can stick it on and it'll hang. The next thing that we need is the hole in the tree. And these take a 5/16 inch drill bit to drill the hole. And this one is a special maple tapping bit. I've never used it before, so we'll find out how special it is. But any 5/16 drill bit will work. The only thing is it's good that it be clean. You don't want to have paint chips on it or just used it to drill out a clog in the toilet or anything. Just everything that you use, you want to be able to put in your mouth. It's because it's going to be food. And it's going to, whatever little contamination is in it, is going to get concentrated. So, James, let's go find a maple tree to tap. You want to show me the way? All right.
Mr. Ben,
Yes.
is it possible to put more than one tap in a tree?
It is possible to put more than one tap in a tree. So somebody asked about the size of a maple tree to tap. If you have a maple tree that's over 18 or 20 inches in diameter, this one looks like it's over 18 inches, probably close to 24 inches in diameter. This one could get 2 taps. But under 18 inches in diameter, probably just one is best for the tree. Let's go. So we'll find a good tree and we'll see if we get sap. One right here. Good. See where? Oh yeah, look at that.
And it came along.
It did? Okay. So James has found us a maple tree, probably 10, 11 inches in diameter if we're optimistic. Sap is going to flow when the temperature is above freezing during the day and below freezing at night. So we're just above freezing now, so we might get something. We're going to drill a hole that's 1.5 to 2 inches deep. Ready? Okay, you want to stick that tap in? One thing that you don't want to do is blow into the hole to get the little bits of shavings out. If there's a lot of shavings in there, you can take a twig and clean it out, but if you blow in, you're introducing bacteria into that hole, and that'll cause it to stop flowing pretty quickly.
Is it going this way?
Yep, it goes in just like this. So the long end goes into the tree, and then we need to tap it in. You got a stick or something we could use?
Stick right there.
Here, you know what? We can do it with this. But a piece of wood or a light hammer works. There you go. You don't have to tap it in too far. But that one's in and seated, and you'll feel it. Stick the bucket over, and then you wait. So it's just above freezing today. And it was cold at night the last couple days, so we're not getting anything right now. It's supposed to be 50 this afternoon, so with any luck, it'll be flowing by then. And the rest of the week is forecast for 40s during the day and below freezing at night, so it should be good. With any luck, you'll fill one of these up every day. So you can use a stock pot or something like that to collect your sap. It's nice to keep it cold during the week while you're waiting to boil it. It will spoil if it's out in the sun and hot. There will be an email that'll go out for the details of Saturday morning when we'll do boiling. What else do we need to know, Steve? Any advice on how to identify a maple tree this time of year? We've showed them a few, and we've shown them
the buds.
We've not shown them the buds.
All right. Let's see here. So this is a maple here. It's a baby one, and you can see that there's usually a really pointy bud at the end of the tree. So what I look for is I look for the bark. So you can see that's a cherry. You see that's a very different rough bark. This is a smoother bark. A lot of diversity out here, so. But I look for smoother bark. Try to remember where your orange, bright red trees were when you were back in the fall. It's a good indicator. But then when you start looking for buds, you look for this pointy bud at the top, and then there are these two little auxiliary buds off to the side of it. So it kind of looks like this is the nose of the rocket, and then these are two boosters on the side. All right. That's about all I got for you.
You like the plated bark?
Yeah. So the older you get, starting to get these sort of furrowed looking. And I cut out all of our Norway maples, which.
So the one that we looked at across the street?
Yeah, that's a Norway maple. I try to avoid those. I know they say you can use it, but I think your sugar maple or your red maple is going to be better. So something like this, where you see that the bark is kind of furrowing out. This is something that you're going to be looking for. Obviously, if it has green needles, you don't want that. Just saying.
Steve, if you tapped it last year, do you want to tap it again the following year?
Yeah, you can see that this tree has been tapped 2 years in a row. So you see that this was the first year, and you can see that it's almost completely healed, and then this is the second year. What you don't want to do, and Ben, correct me if I'm wrong.
You don't want to be in the same area. So
Right.
if you go around the tree 3 or 4 inches and change the elevation by 8 or 10 inches, that'll get you away from any staining or wood that's healing and scarring.
Yeah. Because
But
essentially
other
the
than that,
pipes
you
have
be
been
able to
damaged here, and
tap
you
it sort
want
of
to stay away
indefinitely.
from it.
You did say red maples too?
Red maples will work. It's just less sugar content.
Oh.
So the sugar maple is going to be the highest sugar content. You can tap a lot of trees. It's just that you want to get the most bang for your buck.
So they have a rule of thumb that it's 80 divided by your sugar percentage. So if you get a sugar maple that's got 4% sugar, which is really high, you won't get that high, but it makes the math easy. That would be 20 gallons of sap to make a gallon of syrup. I have red maples, they average like 1.5%. So now you're at 60 gallons. So that's a significant amount more boiling.
Last year I put some pallets here just to raise up a large, I think it's like a 40-gallon cooler. And I used, you can see I didn't put anything away, but I used a bunch of tubes. So I basically had it look like the Matrix out here. And it was just, you can see I had a tap in here, and sort of in this, you can see this one too, it's cool. That one, depends on the tree. This completely healed over. That was last year's tap too. Sometimes they're quick, and this was the previous year's tap here, which you can barely see it. But then I had all the tubes feeding into the cooler, and just collecting the sap that way. Because it got a little ridiculous. Sometimes we were out here in the morning and then in the evening dumping the buckets, and sometimes they were overflowing. So this helped.
Steve delivers a lot of sap.
It's a good spot. It's a good group of sugar maples, especially like this size. This is, I find, some of the real big ones are a little slower, and then the little ones sometimes you can't get enough out of them. But this size is a really nice size. lots of vigor.
Next fall, I'm gonna tie ribbons around all my
So when
trees
we're
right around
organized,
there.
there's an email that goes out in the fall that describes what you
Yeah.
should look like.
Yeah.
Look for
And
how to mark them.
And you guys all live real close by. If you have suspicions that you have maple trees that you want to tap, just send me an email, and I'll swing by.
The tree detective.
Yeah, and we'll ID your tree for you. The last thing you want to do is like tap an elm. I mean, you can tap elms, but
Does anything come out of it?
lots of stuff comes out of it. There's hardly any sugar. They weep like crazy.
You probably don't want that added to your batch.
Probably not. But when you bring your sap, one of the things we get to do is test how much sugar is in the sap. And people actually,
Oh, before it goes
yeah,
into
before it
that?
goes in, people actually do sort of as an industry collect sap and then sell it to other people, and it's sold based on how much sugar is in the sap. So we'll be able, each kid will get to test their sap. They'll see it go into the evaporator. They'll get to see hopefully some syrup coming out, or however close to syrup we've gotten. See what that tastes like. And then, so I don't know, March or April, everybody will get a bottle of their own Cub Scout or just Party Crasher sap.
I think we've also proven that if you take the ice off of the top,
Yep.
so say you have a bucket, or like I had a big cooler, and there was the water will
Right,
freeze
from
in
the
the
top?
top,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can just throw that ice away. It's tempting to keep it because you think
Yeah.
like a lot more volume, but it actually.
But yeah, you're just freezing out the water.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So then it just takes less energy to boil that water off. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
So I think that's it. Anybody got any other questions? We've got taps for everybody.